What's good, everybody? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again here on another show on the O'Shea Duke Jackson channel. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And guys, you know who this is, man. This is the living legend. You know, he's really my big bro. I was here on YouTube before him, but his knowledge is way surpassed on my level. And you'll understand why. The one and only Ron Wills, author Ron Wills. Brother, go ahead and tell the people who don't know you who you are and what is it you do.
And, I do a little bit of everything. People know me for talking about relationships, man gets woman, body game and stuff. But also do some deep thinking on my deep thought channel, and then definitely the business channel, the money channel. I got to build that up because Rom's about the money. Rom is about the money and everything. Yeah, money and buffalo wings. I gotta have money pay for that because my sons need me to pay for stuff. Nah, they be pimping me, man. I ain't lying. I gotta get those red bottom shoes and get out here and get that money for them.
Rom, you have an excellent channel. I would say by far you're the most elite content creator, diverse I've ever met. You and the LAR movement, man. You guys are just on that, but you on another level. Yeah, he's a very, very talented guy. I rank myself about third. But
you really being humble, brother. You being humble, man.
You really intelligent, man. You the Negro Manosphere. You broke the site twice with your articles because there was so many views. But you were one of the first guys I heard talk about a few things on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
One was the imprint, right? I heard that from you.
Okay.
There's another term that you created. What was that term everybody uses now, but it's yours?
Select, non-select.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to kind of go on today, right? Select and non-select, because I did a video about Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan, as a brother who is now very, very popular, voted the sexiest man alive.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were some people who knew him when he was in high school, and they said he was the butt of everyone's joke. Mm-hmm. And you, when you came on the YouTube, you shed light on how a lot of African American men who, when they're young,
mm-hmm.
nobody likes them,
exactly.
and the women don't like them. They're non-select, but they become select as they develop. Can you explain the non-select and select situation for some people who don't know you, and then go into detail about why this happens?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. See, a lot of people have talked about it, but they don't understand it. But select and non-select on a basic level. Select out of men that women go for, and that's across all races. But if we focus on the Black community, like the guys that the women throw themselves at, make it easy. Either throw themselves at or make it easy for the men to get sexual access for. And the non-select, those are guys that they call lame, boring, corny, all of that, who gets no panties, or if they do, they get that starfish sex, and then the woman will still go out and cheat on them with some other guy, that select guy. Now here's the thing about the select, a lot of guys don't get. Yeah, they'll talk about the guys who like tall and handsome, but that's only a small percentage. The majority of men who are select had to build themselves into that category. Let me say that again, the majority, I say about, loose estimate about 85%. Because if you look at the guys who really get into play in Black America, it's those guys who, they build their bodies up, got their style, got a little bit of money, got their personality, sharp, confident, all of that. But most men ain't gonna build that up till later in life. They don't have, it's very few gonna have it like from high school or from when they're a kid. So if you look in the Black community, the guys who the women going crazy is over, they would have been called dorks in high school or something. Like, I'll give you a great example, Will Smith. I remember when he first got started out as a rapper, as a teenager in the Philly area, he wasn't even the main act. He was hanging out with DJ Jazzy Jeff. Jazzy Jeff was his show. Everybody heard Will rap it. Like, man, you should shut up. Just let that brother mix. Seriously, I remember that. I saw him in a concert, they were opening act for Dougie Fresh.
Right.
And he was up there trying to rap, and people are like, "Come on, man, DJ rap." You know, they weren't feeling him like that. Now look at him. And then you
Right.
got some other guys like that. Like a lot of these superstars will tell you that. Idris Elba will tell you that. He said he wasn't getting played like that when he was young. Everybody going crazy over him. He'll tell you. He'll tell you. A lot of them will tell you that. They'll say they weren't getting played. Or you get some guys who are like professionals, like they attorneys, they doctors, like you going to be engineers and stuff, and women going crazy over them. They watching all these videos trying to get a high value man, trying to get these men. And I got a woman's channel. I told him, I said, you better grab that man when he young. When you up there talking about he corny and stuff, that's the one you grab. Which one hitting the books and everything? You grab them then. Because look, you know I don't really get into race and stuff. But I'll tell you something slick that women of other races do. They'll, even if they that physically attracted to that guy when he's young, they'll grab him early. They say, wait a minute, hold up. He gonna make some money. Hold on. They'll grab him. Even if they just gotta just chill out. They'll be friendly to him or something. They won't be calling him a nerd or something. And some of them will hook up with him, especially they'll catch him in college or something when they're real young. See, a lot of these, you know, I don't go in on the sisters, but I got to call it for what it is. A lot of them, they go on for the pretty boy, that fine dude when they're young, but, you know, and get burned, but then they get older, they get a little sense. And even if they manage not to get a baby or anything, then they want the Michael B. Jordans. But then when Michael B. Jordan messing with Becky or Mei Ling or Carmen, then it's like, oh, wow, and stuff. It's like the same thing all the time. It's like, oh, he a sellout now. And some women got mad at me. I said, yeah, I didn't want them when they were young. That's when you should have grabbed them. Because if they grabbed him when they're young, then dude would have been more appreciative of them when, you know, he got his fame. He got you right there with him. But shoot, if a man builds himself up, he didn't have that woman in his corner. He don't have no loyalty towards him. Right. And really, and they'll say something like, "Well, his mama black." Well, he ain't trying to have sex with his mom, and plus he'll buy her a house anyway, so she ain't worried. The mama ain't worried.
Exactly.
So I mean, and this is reality, man. And seriously, I do talk. I tell the women that anybody who follow my women's channel, you know, I tell the women, I say, look. Get that guy early. But they don't. But now what they doing? They mess with Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan had to work hard to get to where he is. People weren't tripping. I mean, even in Hollywood and stuff. But then all of a sudden he do Creed. He do Black Panther. All of a sudden he's sexiest man on People magazine. Now they going crazy over. And he still, and you know what? When he was young, he was into anime and all that. He still is, because there's like an American type of anime he does. It's called Genlock. I was watching that joint. He's like one of the producers and everything. So he ain't even changed what he was about. Yeah, he hit the weights and everything, but he's still the same person. In fact, I'm gonna be real. I'm just gonna start some shit. You know, you do that to me, O'Shea. You do that to me. I wonder if Lori Harvey would have messed with him back in the day.
Uh-oh.
I don't care. You know how you do it. I'll be calm on my channel, do my podcast, even in my car video, because I'm doing stuff. But talk with you for 5 minutes, I'm like, you know what? Let me just be raw with it.
Right.
Let me be raw with it. I wonder if she would have messed with him back in the day. We don't know. Maybe. Nah, she wouldn't have messed with him. Let's just be raw. She got to come on this show and like defend that. I ain't even sure why they messing with each other for real. Seriously, because I remember when Michael B. Jordan he did, like when he started getting big, he was like Killmonger and all of that. It was a big deal out of him doing some party with just white women there.
Yeah, remember that?
But I'm like, hold up though. But y'all were calling him lame in high school. I mean, you got a woman. I saw that because I saw your video talking about it. And a woman, she gonna make a post saying, yeah, they were all clowning him, laughing at him. Now I bet you they say, you know, I always knew Michael was cute.
Oh my God.
Oh, he better watch out for some women lying about him, because you know some women gonna say, you know, he tried to get with me and everything, because you know women lie about that shit. All of a sudden, that famous guy who they ain't get a time of day to, they remember the one time the dude looked at her and stuff for like 2 seconds. He was really looking past her, probably as of a comic book or something. But she
Right.
was like, they be like trying to act like, oh yeah, I could have got with Michael B. Jordan. In fact, he better watch out. Some women might even lie and say they did anyway.
Right.
Try to holler at him and everything. But there's a group of men, they would be considered select. Like I said, they become attorneys, professionals. They start making a lot of money, and then the woman want them all of a sudden. And like I said, I told the women straight up. Anybody check out my woman's channel? No, I say, look, grab that guy. You got to figure that he's going someplace then, because when he get up there, he might not like you, and he going to go for somebody else. Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper, and because I don't really talk about interracial relationships.
Go ahead.
I try to stay out of all of that. But a big reason why a brother, he get up there, get some money, might deal with a woman of another race, because it could be for the exact same reason a sister will deal with him, because he big and famous. But there's one big but, and I don't mean that as a pun. I like the but dump. But here's the thing. That woman still, even though interracial relationships are more accepted now, she knows she's going to catch some hell somewhere. So he knows it's like, okay, she might be getting with me because of my fame and everything, but she's making a sacrifice. She making a sacrifice. She knows somebody going to give her hell for being with her. And if they have kids, and despite how loose some things are now, more accepting, still not totally accepting, not totally yet. So, the woman is at least sacrificing something to get with. But if you get some sisters, a lot of them really ain't sacrificing. It's win-win for them to get with that guy. And he don't know. What is she sacrificing?
Right.
That's the important thing. What is she sacrificing? Everybody going to high five her. They're going to be like, you got the bag, girl. And you hate it like that. He could run into a woman who sincerely like him and everything, sincerely feel him. But let's be real. Part of marriage is a business. It ain't just love and everything. And a man, with us, we got to know, is this woman going to be loyal? What is she giving up to get with him?
Right.
So, and even, I don't even know about that Lori Harvey thing. I'm like, but you never know. You never know. But one of the things, she had her own thing too. So, so it wasn't the same thing like somebody getting a bag with him. But that's the thing, like that whole lane thing, people got to realize most men who get to that point, who are they ladies men, or they're getting all the ladies, they get career success, don't hit it till their 30s. In fact, men physically don't even get their best bodies until their 30s. That's why I say, I told some women this. I said 30s are the decade for a man, because when he's in his 20s, he's still in school. He's still learning his craft. If he's blue collar, he don't even really start to really get into his career, his purpose, his life until his 30s. But then that's also when he started really getting the punani. That's when he's going to get it. He's going to get to play. It's going to start in his 30s. If he can get through his 30s and nothing happening, his ass might be in trouble. But that's the thing. And he's still, and if a man making money and stuff, he got to think. He can't be like, oh yeah, I love it. He say, damn, hold up. Is she going to roll from me at a certain point? And and even though I said women of other races, they got to sacrifice some. There's still some, like the Dr. Dre situation where it could still be a problem. So then he got to be more protective and everything. He still got to look at it. She sure as hell got to have a prenuptial agreement. She would have that thing like negotiated by some like government negotiators or something, because he got to look at all of that shit.
Let me ask you something, Rob.
Yeah.
You're from the DC area. DC. If you look at, you went to, I believe, St. Joe's in Philly.
Yeah.
Right? So Philly is a very African American dominated city, like DC, Baltimore, and Atlanta. So those four cities really, really historically have always been black, and a lot of
Yeah,
people in those cities, you can get opportunities in those places you can't get nowhere else because of the black people that are there.
yeah,
And a lot of black women from those cities are educated, doing
yeah,
very well.
yeah.
Now I can understand, if it was a woman that is, from, let's say, Richard Allen projects in Philly, and she's not around guys that are in education or academia or in blue, good jobs. But a lot of black women, they have access to these sorts of guys.
Hmm.
They're going to school with them.
Hmm.
They don't have a problem with dealing with the guys of their age group that are maybe not as successful. But why do African American women, who are largely attractive, some of them largely educated, have a good motivation? Why do they have a hard time seeing the same values in the mate that they have themselves?
Oh, they still got that vagina, man. I'm serious. They still got it. I've seen a lot of those women. Now they'll mess with some dudes on their luck. I mean, they will. I mean, seriously, you do have some dudes who are frat and all of that. They'll still mess with dudes on that hierarchy, but that's not all of them. That's not all of them. It's because it's like you get on those college campuses and stuff, and those guys don't have an issue. They'll get the beautiful women and everything. But that's not all the guys. All guys ain't frat, or, they don't got those letters. They ain't Kappa, Alpha, whatever, or they ain't the big time jocks. Now, they still chasing those guys because like a lot of the guys who probably will do something later who didn't join the frat or they ain't on the sports team or something, the women still looking up. They still doing I'm gonna say they still looking for the top. They still looking for the big man on campus and everything, or the big man in their social group, because they still doing it. Because those guys got some status, and the jocks got the bodies and all of that. But still, you have a ton of men who they passing over who will get the same thing anyway. These guys like the frat guys and stuff, they might have the networks and the ability to get forward, and the women try to tap into that early, but that's not all the guys. That's not all the guys. And you got some players in there, so the women ain't gonna really get them anyway. They'll just be in the rotation.
Right.
So it's let's be real, because I've lived in Philly, live outside of Baltimore now, lived in DC. Guys had some familiarity, been down to Atlanta more than a few times. Shoot, they want those bougie dudes.
Right.
They want those dudes, those masters of the universe, who got the first start on it, but it don't mean other men ain't gonna come up and do the same thing. Some men got to build themselves a different way, but they'll still get there though. And they let's put it like this: there's not enough of the guys who they want to go around, so they need to expand their options.
Let me ask you this, because what you see is when I was in because I went to HBCU and then I ended up going to a PWI, and noticing the non-black women at like Sac State University when I came back there, I noticed that when I would see like younger white women, and it could be because of financial situations, but usually younger white women, not Asians, they would be looking to, okay, I'm going to school, but the high priority also is like I need to get a lifelong partner or get married. Like a lot of people were engaged.
MRS degrees, man. MRS degrees, because I'm gonna tell you what, at those PWI schools, man, if you check out those women's sororities, those are MRS training grounds.
What is MRS?
Mrs. degrees. That's what they really.
Yeah, marriage.
Those women coming in, they already thinking hubby.
Yes.
They already thinking, they ain't doing that independent thing. Especially the more upper class they are, they already know what they there for. Like I know this young lady, very, very attractive and stuff. And she was in a sorority at a Southern college. Me and her real cool. You'd be like, damn. And I look at me and her follow each other on IG, and I'm looking at the man she with now. These people, these guys be talking Chad. She with a total Chad, but it's a professional looking Chad. So, but I already knew the type. I looked at her, so she had pictures of Soraya. I said, yeah, these look like those upper class white girls who gonna get like, well, Chad, Brad, whatever term they want to use. That guy with money. They ain't gonna be hanging out with that biker or something like that. Or that blue collar dude, they're gonna get them a professional dude. And, you see it early, like especially when you more upper class, they already looking for the bag. They don't wait till they get out, get a job, get all this stuff, and then be like 29 talking about I want to get the bag. They're looking for the bag at 19. They looking for the bag at 19. And that's more of a cultural thing, class and cultural thing. So, they grab on, or even if they see a guy who just got that potential, they like, hey, he ask him out. Shoot, they don't like turn him down right away. They be like, oh, what you in school for? Engineering? Oh, you going to go to med school?
Right.
Seriously, I've known a lot of them. They be mating early, especially they very attractive. They be mating early. They don't be waiting. Very cooperative early. They don't be the pretty ones anyway. The ones who be on the independent kick don't be the pretty ones.
Listen, let me ask you that then. Why is it that, because when I hear black women, they're like, nah, I want to live my life. I want to do this and that. And then I want to get married like, 32, 33, 34. Because you hear a lot of women talk about marriage. They don't want to go into that, as soon as the other races. They want to do some things. And then obviously by the time they're 32, 33, they could have a kid by then, or, then they probably could be a little bit bigger. Most likely that's the case. Mm-hmm. They believe that the world is going to be like, somebody's going to be waiting for them, at 32, 33, while the other guy that, that when she was young, she could have got, mm-hmm. She can't get those guys anymore. And you see it happen all the time. Women are like, mm-hmm. even Kevin Samuels, he posted a sister today on his Instagram, good looking lady, 32 years old. But I'm thinking to myself, like, you're 32, and you looking at Lionel Richie, he's 71, just got a girlfriend that's 30. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So these ladies are at a big disadvantage. Why are they waiting so long to want to start trying to get married? In your opinion?
Well, I've actually talked with several black women about it. I've talked to several black women, and they say straight up, they were socialized to be independent. They're to get their own by their mothers and grandmothers. And this is something that needs to be talked about. They ain't just say, oh, jump up. The grandmothers say, hey, get your education, don't get married, be independent, have all this stuff. And there's a variety of reasons. Some say, they got dogged out by the men or something like that. They thought it was cool and everything. Right? But then, and they'll get their stuff, but then they realize they get to a point, they're so independent that it doesn't really appeal to the men just on that level. I'll get into the physical attractiveness level in a second, but on that level, because a real man, he wants to be sovereign. He wants everything under his control. He got his stuff too. He ain't gonna be like, oh wow, she got a house too, let me move into there. Some bum dude would, but dude, he worked hard, got his career, got everything. Shit, he wants that woman's gonna be a helpmate or helpmeet to him. He wants to be in charge and everything, but the women don't have that cooperative thing. When they into that, they ain't thinking about being wifey, because even getting married is more about the status of it. And a lot of men ain't gonna be, the man is like, well, hold up, we gotta be a couple. See, when you talk about a relationship, a ship going down a river or something can only have one captain. So then even when they meet the guy, the woman trying to be the captain and the man. And ironically, if the man allows her to be the captain, the woman ain't going to respect him at some point. So it's like, oh, okay, well, this ain't gonna work out. And then there's that second thing. Let's just be real. Let's be raw. We just gotta be raw with it. When men are dealing with a woman, their primary thing is their physical attractiveness and then their cooperative personality. We
Mm-hmm.
ain't concerned about their money. Shoot, if you talk to a lot of men, they would love to provide and take care of everything.
Right.
We ain't worried about a woman's money. A real man ain't worried about a woman's money. A real man got his own money.
Hello.
That's what I always say. A man got to make money for himself. So he already got his money. So what's she doing? He can respect what she doing, but they ain't getting his card.
Hello.
Seriously. So the thing that draws the man to her is her physical attractiveness. And I'm just gonna be real. You do have a tiny percentage of women across the races who can maintain their physical attractiveness into their 50s or 60s. I personally know some.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest, they don't have that same attraction. Yeah, and you might like their personality, but let's just be real. We want that woman who's, you know, going to back that thing up. And
Right.
that's just it. We want the baby. We want the babies. We want the child. That's why a lot of older, some men in their 30s, when they decide they want to settle down, or they're going for a woman in her 20s.
Exactly.
And
Hello.
it's and some women get mad, but I'm like, part of the thing that's going to draw him, she got that nice tight body.
Right.
That's just it. That's some shoot. Otherwise, we probably be like, but some women want us to forget that. And like I said, you get some women, I personally know some women in their like late 40s, early 50s, tight body. They kept their bodies tight. But then for every one that keeps their bodies tight, there's 100 who don't.
Exactly.
Maybe even 1,000.
Right.
But a lot of women, but see, the thing is, when they should have grabbed a man, and you know what? Let's just be real. No
Mm-hmm.
disrespect. I gotta be real with it. I know some fellas, they might get mad when I say this, but let's be real. The best time for a woman to get a man when he's young. That's the best time because we see that woman, all sense go out of here, all the blood rushes down to our penises and everything, and we do whatever. The best time to get a man is like in his late teens, early 20s, if a woman who was smart. And that's why some of those women who do get those lifelong husbands, they get them then. Because
Right.
as we get older, if we get some more discipline, we even if we turned on by the women, we say, nah, she's a little bit enough. We start thinking more
We
because
start seeing the red flags.
we start paying attention more. We got our houses, we got our homes. Even if we just got an apartment, we got our own sovereignty and everything. We
Mm-hmm.
started thinking, oh, wait a minute, I worked hard for this. I can't let this woman just take it. I mean,
Right.
there may be a few. Well, you know what? We ain't going to talk about the dumb men out there. You got smart men who follow you. We going to be thinking about it more. Be like, hold up. So these women need to catch them early. In fact, if we lived in a different type of culture, people would get married actually in their teens because that's the best time for a woman to have her babies because she's healthy. Like I've had teenage mothers in my own family. They pop out a baby, wouldn't even be bothered by it. That's the best time. But as they get older, it gets harder and harder, and this goes across races. If women, you got so many women, all of a sudden they want to have a baby when they're older, then they got to go to fertility clinics and do all this stuff. And it gets harder and harder. And then even if they're older and have a baby, they got to be concerned about the health of the baby. There's a lot of stuff. I've known some women had children when they were older, and then something was up with the kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That definitely
That's a
happened.
real talk. I mean, seriously, sometimes we got all this culture, everybody want to do this, but we got to think what really works. What really works? People holding back, and that's a problem with the economy. Young people ain't having babies as much, or getting married, or whatever. Everybody want to have their own thing, have their fun and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, you can't just, and the women who want to be independent, do all their fun stuff. I'm just going to be real. The guys might not be there for them, especially in the black community. You got a lot of brothers, even if they get with another black woman, they going over to Africa, they're going to the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
People keep forgetting South American women, a whole lot of them are black.
Right.
I mean, just gonna be real. We gotta be real. A lot of sisters know me, and on my channel I'm going sisters, but some shit I gotta be real about.
Yeah.
And I know some sisters might come back, well, the brothers ain't doing this, they dusty and stuff. I ain't talking about them. My focus is on the men doing shit. And there's a ton of them in the black community. We just don't hear about it in the news and stuff. That's a whole other conversation, all that stuff, trying like we ain't doing shit. But I personally know a whole lot of brothers at the very least. They got their place to stay. They got their jobs. They all trying to do something extra. They the ones I know who actually got businesses and stuff. And they good. Mm-hmm. They sharp. They ain't gonna put up with any crap. So they got strong will. Mm-hmm. But see, a lot of times women thinking they can automatically find them, but then they're competing with women all over the world.
Yeah, all over the world, and also interculturally, like you said, it's a lot of Dominican women in the United States, Puerto Rican women in the United States. In DC, in Baltimore, it's a big African community that's right there.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. Since growing up in DC, that's how I know a lot about women. I've dealt with a lot of like Trinidad. Trinidad, Virgin Islands, Jamaica, Nigerian women, West African women. The West African women got that big old butt dump. Hey, I'm gonna tell you what, and see, that's the thing. The women know from these other cultures. They know from these other cultures they gotta behave a certain way when they dealing with a man.
Right.
They already know it. No matter what they got going, they still gonna hook up their food and stuff. Shoot.
Right.
Shoot. They still gonna do that wine and everything. Oh man, and Trini, man, oh my Lord.
Yeah, they working with something.
Oh, man, they got some other skills and stuff too. Good Lord. They got a factory down there telling them how to service a man's member down there. Good Lord. I'm like, damn, they good at this shit. What y'all got a factory down this? Damn, got a special class. They might call it something down there. But my point is this, though. Mm-hmm. And this is something that really has to be discussed. I'm going to tell you to the point, even though if you look on my channels, I don't really get into the race part. I've had in the back of my mind to start maybe a channel or do some stuff strictly on black relationships, because we got to talk about this stuff. There's a lot of women complaining, and you got a lot of shout out Kevin Samuels. These are sisters coming up to him and stuff, but the men were already there. The men are already there, but the men are like, damn, you got a lot of stuff. Should I put up with that, or should I put up with this woman over here who's young, cooperative, and everything?
Right.
In fact, and that young thing ain't no joke, because me personally, and I've said this, most of the women I've dealt with recently were millennials, like 20 years younger than me. Mm-hmm. Recent, like routinely and stuff, real cool and everything, real cool and in great shape, So it's some real stuff. I mean, when you see, like, when you talk about the thing with Michael B. Jordan and stuff, that's a bigger issue that really needs to be looked at. How are these sisters skipping over those type of men? In fact, on my woman's channel, I told them, I said, look, even if he don't got money, all you have to do is talk and get to know him, see what he doing. See, I told women this, primarily black women. I said, when you see that guy, he might not be rich, he could be living at home. All you have to do is find out what he doing for his life, what he doing, and then see what he actually do. Like if he tell us something, he ain't doing anything, okay, leave him alone. But he said, yeah, I'm working to get my degree. And then, you try to go out with him. He said, look, I got to study for this test or something. He doing something. Grab him then. Don't think, because I'm going to tell you what, I've met some women. They say, well, when you get that degree and everything, give me a call. I was like, I ain't giving you a call. I remember I told one woman back in the day, I said, you got to grab on there because I ain't going to be nice to you when I get that money.
Right. I can't believe you said that.
She told me that. She reminded me. I told her that. She reminded me.
Wow.
I told her, I said, look, you gotta grab the dude. Just that's all they have to do is pay attention. Who actually doing the work? Mm-hmm. Who gonna be the long-term thing? Mm-hmm. Because even the physical part, like when I talk body game, yeah, people know me talking about it to get women, but really, it's more about a man being in shape to do the shit he got to do.
Mm-hmm.
So if that dude working out, that's showing he got some discipline and stuff. He's still gonna be in good shape when he about 45.
Right.
He's still gonna be at four and got some money. That's why a lot of them be getting some 20-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. In fact, I'm gonna tell you how deep that is. I know several women, young women, black women, who dealt with some older guys. Back when I was in my 20s, they say mess with a guy. What is that guy? Oh, late 40s, 50s. But the guy got his shit together.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
No, it's real. Uncle Rob, tell them, man, for those people, come by and subscribe to your channel. What kind of content would they be hearing?
Well, if they on my main channel, of course I'm known, as a dating coach, but that ain't even my main thing. I definitely talk about the getting the quality women, if I'm going to say anything about women, body game, getting yourself physically together. But the main thing is on that channel. The main thing on that channel is sovereignty, a man just developing himself, because what I often say is the woman is the commercial to a man's main program. So that's a big thing on that channel, just masculinity, sovereignty, and everything. Just a man developing himself. And then if he want to be player, he can be player. Or if you just want to get that one quality woman and chill out, he can do that too. Whatever he want to do, because it's all about a man having control over his own life and having the options to do what he wants to do and travel where he wants to go and deal with whoever woman he wants to deal with. If for reasons I can't fathom, he want to deal with Lakeisha from the hood, okay, well, I don't agree with you, but hey, that's your world. Personally, I say deal with a woman from a more classier background, or at least has some intelligence or something. But you still gotta have the option to do that. So that's my main channel. But then I have my deep thought channel. I get into some thoughts and everything. How you just, and it's all about thinking. It's all about thinking. Even when somebody don't disagree with me on that channel, as long as they don't attack me, and as long as they think about what they say, I that's the sole praise. As long as they show that they thought about what they're saying, because I can't stand when somebody just say something and I was like, okay, so what's your thoughts behind that? And then my money channel, your favorite. And on my money channel, the main thing is, it started out, it was called Ron Will's About That Business, but I'm seeing a lot of people, they talk about money, don't want to get that business, so I switched to money management. Because everybody got to manage their money. Seriously, a person can take that money. A person can really take a little bit of money. They work it right, and it could all of a sudden look like a lot of money. They can make it grow and everything. Because look, the bottom line with a man in this culture is sovereignty. The money is the tool for that. If you want to live where you want to live, drive what you want to drive, even have access to the type of women that you want, you need some money. Now, let me explain that real quick, because sometimes when people say that money thing, people think it's about tricking. No, it's not. If you got enough money, you can roll in certain social circles, certain places. You need a better class of women. But you do have to have some money to get into it. It could be like certain clubs, certain beef places, beef restaurants, or some cigar lounges or something. You still need money to meet a better class, to roll. It gives you access to better things. And then still gives you an option. If you just don't want to do that, go someplace else, you still got the option. But see, what I'm seeing with a lot of brothers out here, especially, a lot of brothers is not managing that money right. You got some men living like paycheck to paycheck, and then if you find out how much they make, they still making a good amount of money. I mean, even though it's only a small percentage of men who making six figures, depending on where you live and how you live, you can make it on like 30,000. You can make it on 45, because say you got 30,000, right? All right, you got 30,000, you make 30,000, people say, oh, how you gonna make it? No, here's what they do. Put the money, don't buy anything extra. Spend the money on take care of basic bills. Live frugally, right? save some money, but then take the money you save and start investing it, or in maybe some stocks. That's funny, but at least in a savings account you get a little bit of money there. But maybe building a business like on YouTube, somebody could say, okay, I'm just making a little bit of money. All right, let me get a good camera, let me get a good phone, let me start doing some videos. Let me share my knowledge. They can start making a little bit of money, and then that 30,000 all of a sudden becomes 60,000. It could be anything. You might say, you know what, let me invest in a vending machine or something, some type of business. You still making that little, you expanding it. Because here's the key. It's a very simple key. If you take what little bit of money you got and put it in an income producing asset, you can make more money. Even if it start out just a little bit, you can build that. All of a sudden, you make it more and more. Or you could invest in some type of training course to give you the ability to make more money. Like, I don't know, like doing something online, maybe some type of blue collar thing, something like that. Or okay, say you're doing something making 30, but you still got some time. You say, okay, let me get a part-time job somewhere. Let me take that money, put it into a saving. You could probably put it into a money market, and then look for something to invest in with that money. So, it's how you manage it. Now, see, some people, they'll get that money and then they broke because they spend it on some dumb shit that they don't need. Thinking they gotta get those Jordans or something else, and no, they can't really afford it. Or that fly stuff, so they can look like they got something, but then they in debt, hitting that check cashing place. No, that payday loan place or something. Wondering why they broke. It's right. All in how you manage the money and what you do with it. You use that tool, you can expand it. That's how the rich do it. And right. Like, you can start with a little bit of money. That's the beauty of it. Just take that little bit. Let's take that little bit and just invest in something. Like, I'm doing this now on a laptop with a HD camera and everything. Got my phone next to me and stuff. And just a little bit of money into that, and it's making me more money.
Right.
And that's it. It's a very simple thing. And me, I be chilling because I be spending time with my pimps and everything. So I don't be doing as much as I could do. But whenever I spend money on anything, I'm thinking it's an investment. And I'm a shoe man. I love shoes, but then even then, what am I wearing the shoes for? I'm doing a live event or something, so I got to look good for it. That's an investment.
Right.
Whenever I spend money, it's an investment.
Right.
Because it's something to make me make more money. When I do my car videos, I'm in a nice, comfortable car. Paid that joint off after a year yesterday, right?
Right. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks, man. But then it was how I managed the money. That's how it was easy to do. Mm-hmm. And see, the thing with the car is I'm comfortable. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to spend on constant repairs. I take that money and put it someplace else. Mm-hmm. Because I'm looking at direct purchase stocks right now and stuff. Now I'm gonna take my time and really look at them and stuff, see what trends and everything. Or people could do that, or invest in themselves, get some. Get an education, get the books that can tell them how to do stuff. Because one thing about the rich, they constantly invest in self-education to learn how to become richer. Mm-hmm. Constantly. That seriously, they'll pay like $1,000 for a 3-hour webinar on how to make even more money. And they'll pop it down like it's nothing.
Right.
Because they always focus on it. They focus on it. But that's the key. But you got to manage your money right. Seriously, it's scary when I see men, and especially in this culture, Black men just spending money on whatever. No, we can't. Because if you look at what's going on out here, we don't. If you notice, right? Dang, you got all these programs now for sisters. All I'm seeing is stuff. Oh yeah, we're gonna have this program for the women. Okay, cool. What y'all doing for the men?
I heard about T.S. Johnson talked about that on his Google. Yeah. 100,000 hiring 100,000 women to train in IT.
Like,
women of color.
Yeah, but then those same women gonna come out. It's like, where the brothers at on our level? I'm like, shoot. I'm like, man, hold up. So it's like my thing is we gotta do it ourselves. We can't wait for them. We can't wait for
Exactly.
anybody, man. I'm like,
Exactly.
okay, y'all gonna be that way? All right, fine. All right, fine. But yeah. Yeah, that block you got right there, we're gonna make our money and buy it. In fact, in Baltimore, right? I know this dude who owns half a block, a young brother. You see him, you wouldn't think much of him, but you're like, wait a minute, this brother know all these buildings and stuff. And you got a lot of us out there doing it, but they were smart on how they manage their money and stuff. They being quiet about it. And you know the news ain't gonna want to talk about it. You know the news,
Right.
it's like, oh wait a minute, a black man doing something. Oh shit.
Right.
You know? But that gets into a bigger conversation and everything. But the bottom line is, you know, that's what men need to be focused on, getting that sovereignty and stuff. The women are all, at the end of the day, the women are the commercial to the main program.
Right.
They are
Right.
the commercial, because the thing is, even if you marry that woman, you ain't spending 24/7 with her. A man got to have his own path he going on, and then when he's on his own path, he know which woman is going to fit into it. He don't got to fit into hers. He's looking at her and say, well, you going to be an asset to me or a liability?
Right.
That's how I look at women. I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, you going to be an asset to me or you going to be a liability? If I think you're going to be a liability, I don't care how big that butt dunk is. I'm like, I gotta let you go.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, guys, so me and Uncle Ron, we got one more that we're gonna give you guys about building a community around you. You know what you do as black men. Ron Wills has the best business content that I have seen for African Americans on YouTube. So you got to check out that Ron Wills about. It's my favorite channel, and implementing those things, man, that really helped me. So guys, subscribe, hit the bell, check out Ron Wills. I put all his channels at the first comment pinned to the top. His main channel, the Deep Thought channel, and also Ron Wills, the Money Management channel.
Yeah.
And as you know, the buffoonery remains at the all-time high. I'm out.